Hail and well met. Hello, Sans Tail. Good to see you. Hello, everybody else tuning in. It is time to continue Rogue Trader, the 22nd stream of this game. And frankly, I am nowhere close to getting tired of it. So I think we were done with what we wanted to do on our homeworlds. So I think we're just back to exploring the Corona sector, if I'm remembering right. One does not simply get tired of Rogue Trader. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. One does not. Just check my posture here. So how are you doing, Sans? What is up with you? Love the mustache. Thank you, Kiptilus. Welcome to the stream. It's something I used to do that I decided to maybe get back to and try some more. Hold on. Does this hold up? Oh. I mean, that's a pretty significant upgrade. There we go. Good. Made what you can only describe as cheesecake tarts. Made them in the muffin tray so they're smaller. I'm not a big fan of cheesecake, but if you are, that sounds really nice.
Online.
Hello,
Sensors
Egonaut.
online.
Welcome.
Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Welcome to the stream. Just pick something here. There we go. Just got home from work? Well, perfect time to come hang out here then. We are ready for any orders, Lord Captain. Right. Less wasteful, because in total it's less than half a normal cheesecake. And that way you have it like nicely portion sized. Oh, right. That's what I was doing. I was done with the administratum stuff on Dagonis, but I still had business to attend to in my palace. Right. Well, let's head to the palace. Alright, who do we want to bring with us? Just this party? Do I want to make any substitutions? Yeah, we don't need Jai with us anymore. So I think instead of Jai... Telgri, welcome! I think we are going... We're meeting with the Navis nobility, so I feel like it doesn't make sense to not include Cassia. Finished your second playthrough of this today? You know it's good when it leaves you feeling a bit empty afterwards. Thank you, Sancel. Yeah, my plan is once I finish this on stream, the stream is going to move on to other games. But I'm going to start a second playthrough off stream just for myself, just to see what happens when I make totally different choices. Just head straight into the palace, see what the business is. Oh. Cheers.
You gotta unleash the beast with monster energy.
Thank you, Telcree. Keeping the count up to date. Alright, so... Curiosity Merchant... Achilles, Clementia. It's probably Clementia I need to talk to. Let's just head straight there. Doesn't seem to be any other points of interest. Oh, or maybe Scamander. He was like an inquisitorial spy. Let's talk to him first. See what he has to say. Achilles Scalander. Achilles Scalander nods pensively. Your ladyship, how may I be of service? Tell me about the noble houses of Dagonis. No, you already went through that. There was, your ladyship. Alright. He didn't have anything new to say. So let us speak to Clementia. Made it to 30 on Marta last night? Good job, Jägernaut. Are you still enjoying the game? Are you still enjoying the Psycho? Your ladyship, Clementia looks away from her data slate. I hope your stay on Dagonis will be beneficial to your physical and mental state. I understand that the heir to a protectorate must have her hands full, but one shouldn't forget about rest. What about the meeting with the navigators of House Orselio? Clementia immediately focuses on the data slate in her hands. Allow me to report. The esteemed navigators of House Orselio have taken residence in the guest estate and await a meeting with you. How would you like to receive them? Yeah, this is gonna cost me profit factor. But I'm going to take the expensive one. Make arrangements for a reception worthy of the refined tastes of the Navis nobility. Understood, your ladyship. Clementia promptly makes a note on her data slate. Would you like to hold this meeting shortly? Yes, we are ready. Then I have messages sent to retrieve the esteemed guests. Do I want... Okay, so let me think who I want present for that. I think maybe instead of Solomon, I want Heinrichs present for that. Nah, we'll go with Solomon. We'll go with my first instinct. Regent Aronta Orselio, esteemed delegation. The Rogue Trader and the Fan Valencia's Protectorate welcome you. Come this way, please. Actually, hold on. Before we continue, I need to go do something. This will just take a minute. Alright, I'm back. You probably can't hear it in the background, but I had to get my fan set up because it is a little too warm here for comfort. At least for my comfort. The esteemed representatives of the Navis nobility have arrived at the Rogue Trader's court. The regent of the Great House Orselio, Arontor Orselio. His companions, Lady Glyceria Orselio, Navigator Lesso Simon Orselio, and his intended bride, Lady Navigator Alexandrine Orselio, Lady Navigator Elena Hateria Orselio, and Navigator Danax Orselio. Scandinavian summer is a sweaty experience, and it's not even in its worst phase yet. Yes, exactly. A tall, wizened old man proudly stares at you with milky, unblinking eyes. Loose skin sways with his every move, as if the navigator's flesh has detached from his bones. An unsightly hole mars the regent's face where his nose should be, and the old man's skull is covered with spiky growths. Rogue Trader? The regent's piercing voice cuts through the silence. On behalf of House Orselio, we would like to express our immense satisfaction at this meeting, and our gratitude for the warm welcome. It pleases us to know there are still ladies in the Coronis Expanse who observe etiquette and the traditions of hospitality. Never noticed they just casually mentioned that the Lesser Navigator is marrying a seemingly close relative? Yeah, I think that's pretty normal among them. Gotta keep the bloodlines pure. The pretty Habsburgian, if you will. And yet, this is not why we are here. Our Grace is obliged to note how much the Rogue Trader has done for House Orselio by protecting its beloved child. We waited for many turns to behold her radiant visage. The Regent shifts his unblinking gaze to Cassia. Come now, child. There is much we need to discuss. Cassia steps forward, but then stops and looks at you. Nod. Let her say what she has to say. Cassia smiles faintly and addresses the Regent. Esteemed Regent, it pleases me to see the gleaming sheen of gold and turquoise above your brow. It is thanks to the efforts of the Rogue Trader that I stand here today, and there is so much I want to tell you. But what is it you desire to hear most? We know what happened at the station, child. Your connection to the Atlas has grown so strong we felt the turmoil in your soul, and the events that transpired have shaken us. House Orselio is deeply grateful to the Rogue Trader for the destruction of the saboteurs, and we are willing to reciprocate such a magnanimous gesture. We trust that a treaty of friendship and alliance underpinned by the transfer of several artifacts of exceeding rarity will suffice. Now come, child. It is time we depart for your new home, so that we may finish what we started. Esteemed Regent, perhaps I could continue my education while still accompanying the Rogue Trader on her travels. Just imagine how much I could learn beyond the bounds of... Cassia notes the Regent's furious glare and falls short. Cassia, I would be honored if you decided to stay. Unthinkable!
Don't just stand there. Help the Rogue Trader defend the child and the palace.
Oh no!
Down with Tisiphone's tyranny! Kill the god! Take a knee and bow before me. None of you shall survive.
Oh, it's one of the navigators. I see. Okay. Okay, I see what's happening here. All right. Something's happening here, but it isn't exactly clear. Not here. Magenta here. That seems good. So then we can put her here with the servo skull here. A Scal out here on a flanking maneuver. And I will move up a little bit to here. And Argenta moves before anyone else. Let's see what we're dealing with here. 25% armor, so 37% dodge. In a line. Okay, definitely seems like we need to take her down. Oh, yeah, her. These Navis bodyguards are pretty tough as well. They just have a... Oh, they all have bolters. Okay, this is pretty spicy. So, Argenta... I think moves to here. Furious Recital, of course. Mark you as prey. Call bold. A 22% chance to hit. Let's try. There we go. And then we can run and gun, which lets us do a second burst.
Doubt is for the weak.
Interesting to see archetypes on characters you're not used to. Meaning you picked different classes for how you put your retinue together?
Moving out.
Don't set my arbitrator on fire.
My faith strengthens me.
Ooh. That was nasty. You make Argenta an arch-militant. Yeah, fair enough. Let's do advanced tracking. Let's have him apprehend her.
Do that.
What do you mean no line of sight?
Moving into position. Let's test our skills, Galato.
Then we do concentrated fire,
Understood.
so that then we can do bristly adjudication.
Arbitrator judges.
Then we have 1 point left, which we can't really do anything with.
I must not falter. Follow my lead.
I didn't really thoroughly study the various classes before making my choices. I just don't have the patience on stream to sit down and do a half-hour study session before making a choice. So I just looked in the Arch-Militant and it said like, oh, the Arch-Militant is all about switching back and forth between melee and ranged. And I was like, well, that's not what I want to do with Argenta at all. So we're not going to get that for Argenta. Maybe I picked wrong. I don't know. Let's definitely get rid of her.
My place is at the fore.
right at the beginning. If we can. There we go. And we brace for impact. We endure. And we taunt this way. Never found a way to use Overseer except Solomon's Dog. Tried Eagle and Skull. The less output of violence didn't apply in your palette. Fair enough. Hey Zahel, thank you for the 10 stream streak.
It will be done. Stay vigilant. Weapon at the ready. Quick, quick!
Alright, Pasquale. We flank all the way up here. Just 41 minutes left for PoE 2. Oh, right. The new league drops tonight.
Request approved.
Bet you're pretty excited. Trap here. Keep those guys fairly stationary. Yeah, I should have used Piercing Shot. I should have marked as prey. Oh well. Do Machine Spirit Communion. Here. The fact that you don't even use that aspect of Arch Militant probably means you do it suboptimal. Yeah, but like I didn't do a deep dive on it, so I just looked at it and I was like, this is what the Arch Militant is about. I just read like the brief shorthand description instead of going through all its abilities.
Follow my lead. Break them. Brace yourself, Abelard. I've suffered worse.
You have suffered worse, Abelard. Totally forgot what I'm playing. Bill left the tab open so you don't need to remember it. Hey, as long as it works, right? As long as it works. Alright, if I fire here, yeah, that looks pretty good, like so. Let's mark you as prey.
I act.
Let's call the bold. And then we do this.
Was chosen.
And honestly, this might be a good time to do Firearms Mastery. So let's do that. Pump some damage out.
Faith without you, my emperor. This is why I was chosen. I'll do it.
So that should get one of them off the field.
Can escape the emperor's judgment.
Totally worth. We like our position. Hold.
A colossal mistake.
Now Teophania. Who do we want to give? I think we want to give extra to Argenta. We'll move up here. Argenta, serve me. Argenta, voice of command. Argenta. Inspire. And Argenta, bring it down.
Too easy.
And then Argenta.
I'll
Do
it.
this. Done. And then Teophania with 1 point left. And press the advantage. And do a single shot
Suits
to
my
this guy.
purpose. There's nowhere to hide.
There we go. Oh, I could Finest Hour. Finest Hour on Argenta could do a lot of damage. So could a Finest Hour on Pascal. Can I even reach Pascal with Finest Hour?
Not my
No
specialty.
line of sight. You know what, we're gonna hold off. And then Solomon. If I go here... Yeah, that's perfect. So let's go
Guilty will
here.
fall.
Let's activate advanced
Plato,
tracking.
we're undertaking this task.
Wait. Oh, Glyto's stunned because of a stun grenade. God damn it. Concentrated fire. Grisly adjudication, like
It
so.
won't take long. Accepted.
Run and gun, and that should give me enough to do a single blast.
The order is clear.
There we go. And turn. The wardens are really helping out too. Alright. My guys are a little too spread out.
I have read tomes of military tactics.
Remove stun from Glyto.
Now, do something!
Skull to here. There we go. Voice of
Do
command.
not dare ask.
Ah. Bring it down onto
I am a
Euphania.
navigator, not a servitor.
Euphania is just going to shoot and hopefully
Not
kill
for
this guy.
enemy.
Or miss. And then she has yet to attack. This is, yeah, that's pretty terrible. Don't want to hit my own guys. I'm gonna take the sniper rifle. See if we can
If I
finish
may,
off this guy.
as duty demands.
And then... Finest hour on Solomon.
I'll show you why navigators are feared.
I'll show you why navigators are feared. We already know why navigators are feared. It's because they're weirdo freaks.
One of us would be enough. I'll take it as a priority executed.
Law and order.
Let's test our skills, Galato.
And that's gonna be it for him. That's gonna be it for Cassia. Now Abelard. Fortunately, this guy is too close to charge.
A tactically sound approach.
We go here. We name him Sworn Enemy. We whack him.
I took care of this one.
Now, I don't think this is going to be possible, but if it is, I will be very happy. It looks like it is.
At your
Okay, I'm very happy. I have 1 point left. Let's do defensive stance. In case this fool decides to attack me.
Don't touch me.
Now, Pascal, who has a little bit of movement. Advancing. Done trap. Mark him as prey.
Scriptural prognosis is
Guessing shot, because there's no one behind to catch the back blast anyway. And then an overcharged plasma shot. And then we miss! Wow. Like, wow! This weapon, and turn.
Stay vigilant. Die!
Can't see him from there. Oh wait,
God
doesn't
Emperor,
matter.
move through me.
Because we
Be
walk
the fire
here,
in my heart.
and then we dash.
Faith without
Here.
deeds is worthless.
Niddler! Welcome! Now in this situation, I don't think a burst is in order.
I refuse.
So I am just going to call the bold with a single shot.
I'll do it.
Wait a minute. Or controlled shot, and then a burst shouldn't be a problem.
This is unacceptable.
What do you mean no line of sight to the target? Oh, this fucking banister here is ruining it. Alright, in that case, run and gun.
As the Emperor commands.
And that is going to... No, activate raid. And that is going to return. Aronto, finish him off! No? Dies to Pascal's trap. Mercy! The Lady Navigator covers her face with her disfigured scaly hands, each with an extra finger and conjoined phalangeal bones. Her clothes are covered in blood, mostly that of your servants, and several unexploded bolts are sticking out of her chestplate. Rogue trader, whether on purpose or out of ignorance, you are harboring a monster that is currently pretending to be an innocent maid. Spare me, and I, Elena Hateria Orselio, will swear to tell you the whole truth about the madness that is devouring House Orselio like a malignant tumor. Do not let the Regent deceive you with honeyed lies, lest the cursed child ruin your protectorate as well. You see rage and despair in the Lady Navigator's face, but neither is directed at you. Your fate will be decided during the trial, Lady Elena. I will hear what you wish to tell me. Thank you for your lenience, rogue trader. The unnaturally bulbous eyes of the Navigator constantly shift between you and Cassia. Black secretions run down her cheeks instead of tears, leaving unsightly streaks. I, Elena Hateria of House Orselia, swear to tell the rogue trader nothing but the truth. May the God Emperor be my witness. Pathetic. Silence. With all due respect, House Orselio has hardly covered itself in glory thus far today. It's time its representatives answered before the rogue trader. Lady Elena, what do you have to say in your defense? I do not know what it is you wish to learn, but I will start from the very beginning. A long time ago, Tisiphone ascended to the throne of Orselio. She was a daring novator who brought part of the house to the Expanse, hoping to strengthen our position in the Imperium. The house prospered, but Tisiphone was never satisfied. She went mad in her pursuit of power, seeking more influence, more control, and she saw enemies everywhere, even among her loyal followers. Paranoia was slowly driving Tisiphone insane, and one day she created the Stairway Atlas, a relic that is implanted in our bodies at birth, a noose around our necks, our gift and our damnation. Tisiphone used the Atlas to control us, subdue our will, and mold our thoughts. If anyone put a toe out of line, she killed them with a glance. At first, many branches of House Orselio tried to resist her tyranny, and Tisiphone cut them down with extreme brutality. For example, the entire Sethala branch was destroyed simply because its leaders asked too many questions about the Atlas and wanted to know the truth about its creation. What else is Tisiphone Orselio guilty of? Tisiphone's madness weakened the dynasty, and not long ago the Novata vanished. Indeed, her loyal followers lie when they say she chose to retire. The truth is that nobody knows the truth. I hope she's rotting away on one of her secret worlds. Lena finishes with a sneer. I understand Tisiphone's transgressions, but what does any of that have to do with Lady Cassia? Tisiphone passed her Atlas on to her successor before fleeing the house. To a newborn child. We could not surrender the throne to the tyrant's creature. Tisiphone was cunning and treacherous. She must have hatched the entire plan beforehand. Her disappearance, the child, the transfer of the leash. We feared that one day she would be reborn in Cassia's body, and we could not let that happen. Very Naruto Hyuga story style? Yeah, I can see it. The whole Hyuga side family curse mark deal? You called Cassia a monster because of Tisiphone's Atlas. Largely yes, but there's more. Have you never felt pure, unadulterated disgust while standing close to her? Or perhaps fury or fear? Who but a monster would manipulate the minds and feelings of others, even more so than Tisiphone herself did? Why didn't you attack before? Why now? Tisiphone always had plenty of opponents, but we were afraid to trust one another. Any of us could be spying for her followers. We saved our strength and dealt the first blow 5 years after the heir was born, striking at one of the estates on Eat 6. But the girl survived, and Regent Aranto hid her so far away and guarded her so thoroughly, it took us another 13 years to find her. And then another 2 to get into the Regent's good graces and reach Urak 5. Now Cassia is in the spotlight, and the House Council is about to put her on the throne. Surely there is no better time to cut off the serpent's head. So you admit Regent Oronto was not aware of the assassination attempt? Lena clicks her tongue loudly. Regent Oronto is guilty of mass killings, intimidation, inhuman torture, abetting Tisiphone, and raising her heir. His crimes are many, but this is not one among them. I'd love to see his head on the chopping block, but honor permits me from slandering him in a trial before the rogue trader. Alright, that's enough out of you. The rogue trader now knows about the Regent's atrocities and the girl's corruption. I hope I succeeded in warning you about the danger that lurks within Cassia Orselio. Yo, Payman, welcome! Level 15 Spell Dancer, fancy. Regent Oronto, representatives of your house made an attempt on Lady Cassia's life and attacked a rogue trader. Rogue trader, House Orselio humbly asks for your lenience and forgiveness. We could not even imagine these vile rats could be scurrying among our ranks. As for them sneaking into the rogue trader's palace and staging an unthinkable crime, God Emperor be our witness. The accursed renegades seek to spark a feud between our houses. I believe you, Regent Oronto, and yet this is now the second attempt that has been made on Cassia's life. I need answers. How old and venerated House Orselio seems to be, how old would Tisiphone have become for Cassia to be apparently the immediate heir to her? Well, yeah, if you're assuming like a standard primogenitor succession, I think maybe Tisiphone just named Cassia her heir, and nobody was able to speak against that. How are we today? I am good. I am tired. I am in pain, but it's good pain. It's because this morning was leg day and I did 60% more work than I normally did on a leg day. So it's hard, but it's good. We are ready to tell you everything we know so that this misunderstanding can be remedied as quickly as possible. Tell me more about the renegades. They are madmen who seek to destroy the centuries-old traditions of our great house, so carefully nurtured by the previous Novator, Tisiphone Orselio. They deem the century of her rule a tyranny, and our most sacred relic a curse that must be destroyed. Fools! If the Atlas were to be destroyed, the whole of House Orselio would follow it into oblivion. That would still imply that Tisiphone was alive at the same time as Cassia. I mean, I think it's pretty plain that she was. Sandstale, the whole story is Tisiphone implanted her Atlas in Cassia and then disappeared. Actually, it could just be House Orselio could have existed. Yes! Yes, Tisiphone is not the founder of House Orselio. She's just its ruler for the past 100 years. Actually, Payman, I really like leg day because I get to do some of my favorite exercises on leg day. I get to do barbell squats, which I love. I get to do stiff-legged deadlifts, which are pretty okay. And I get to do calf raises, which I also love. Why do the renegades seek to destroy the house's relics? They dread its power, for only a Novator can fully grasp the mysteries and harness the power of the Stairway Atlas. What the renegades call a leash, we call a guiding star. So why are people trying to kill Lady Cassia? Everyone in the house knows the child is the keeper of the one true Starway Atlas. Oh, Starway, not Stairway. That makes more sense. Which once belonged to our great Novator, Tisiphone Orselio. The ungrateful wretches secretly hated her grace, and when Tisiphone abdicated her responsibilities and set off for parts unknown, they staged a revolt to destroy her successor. Does Cassia really carry Tisiphone's Atlas? We believe it with all our heart. The Novator spent many cycles on the world where the child was born. It is said that everyone who witnessed the miracle of her birth simultaneously departed for a destination known only to the Novator. Tisiphone gave the order and followed them soon after, leaving her precious gift, the Atlas, to Cassia, and therefore marking her as her successor. Seems like House Orselio has fallen on hard times. The regent stays silent, then replies, To call your statement false would be a lie. For many years we managed to maintain the fragile balance within our house, but then the Novator's departure shook the faith of many. The treasury is empty, the navigators are scattered, the warp routes are scrambled, and many of our allies cannot be reached, which is why it is so important to complete the child's education. It is Cassia's duty to take Tisiphone's place and lead the house to prosperity. Such is her great destiny. What do you know about Cassia's unbridled power? A special gift for a special child. She was born with it. Or maybe it's Maybelline. And grew up under its influence. The instability sometimes hampered her education, but we learned to prevent most outbursts. As long as the child remains calm and remains in seclusion, the powers cannot take hold of her mind. I think I've heard enough. Regent acknowledges your words with a nod and waits for you to continue. Fitting with Cassia's nice-looking hair. Oh, good point. Lady Cassia, you too are an injured party in this. What would you do in my place? If I may speak, so many dirty colors have poured from the mouths of those present that I feel covered in filth from head to toe. As the future Novator, I want to bleach them, purify them, and let them go. Heed me, I am the one to blame for what happened today, and I accept full responsibility for the actions of my house. Cassia speaks bravely and openly, though her hands are shaking a little. Vile wretch! Who do you think you are? Will you now start killing those who have displeased you as Tisiphone did before you? The fury on Alina's face gives way to desperation when she realizes what she just said. She slowly reaches for the atlas embedded in her chest, looking at Cassia with obvious fear. Hear us, child. This burden is too heavy for you to shoulder alone. You are not yet ready. I implore you, to settle this conflict, I offer the rogue trader a 100-year contract with House Orselio, committing us to charting the shortest and safest routes for the Von Valancia's protectorate within the Coronis expanse. I will also remain aboard the rogue trader's vessel and assist her until she decides otherwise, or until our duty to the house summons me to the Novator's seat. And what will you do to Lady Alina? The esteemed regent will put Lady Alina and her people in one of our family jails. She is a House Orselio navigator, after all. There is no need for our precious blood to be spilt. Lady Alina stares at Cassia incredulously with bulging eyes, but remains silent. A hand restlessly caresses the spot where her atlas is embedded. Lady Cassia, I accept your offer. Thank you, Teophania. I mean rogue trader. Cassia smiles. You have never seen her so open or radiant. Regent Oronto remains silent for a long while. Bulging eyes, more or less bulging? Well, previously she was already described as having bulging eyes, Sandstail. So I think she just has especially bulging eyes. So be it. We failed to notice that our child had grown up and become strong. You may stay with the rogue trader until the house summons you. Her influence is anomalous, but it has served to bring out Blessed Tisiphone's most precious talent, the talent of leadership. Rogue trader, we are now bound by the terms of the contract. Your representatives may contact House Orselio at any time, and we will respond. And one more thing. Protect the child like the apple of your eye. Remember that you have the future novator of a Navis nobility house aboard your vessel. A couple of deaths, but all in all, I think that went pretty well. Is Cassia anywhere here? No, she's not. Oh, that's a shame. I kind of wanted to speak to her. Besides Rogue Trader being born into the Navis nobility, it might be one of the best things to be in the 40k. Yes and no. You are extremely privileged and extremely pampered, but at the same time you are also mutated, and you are expected to basically take the warp directly to the face, serving as a navigator. Did anyone add a count for that monster? Yes, Telcree did. Okay, she doesn't have anything new to say. Which confuses me, because I have another quest here. Is it a rumor? I thought I had something here called slander. I guess not. Alright, let's save and then let's do some leveling up. See if we can get that out of the way before the ad breaks start. Archetype, Master Tactician, what do we get? We get a skill and a characteristic. Alright, skill. Let's do Commerce. Get even better at that. Characteristic. I think agility. Oh, that's a colony event. Oh, thank you, Sense. I thought it was a quest. Well, we'll look into that, I think, after the ad break then. We want more demolition. I mean, he's not my demolition guy, though. But in case I don't have Argenta long, we'll do this. Argenta gets skill and characteristic. So for skill, do awareness, and for characteristic, we will do agility. Abelard will get, I think, coercion. Oh, he's not great at that. Really good at carousing. Let's keep him at that. And more, even more toughness. Let's go. Cassia, she has 2 ranks, which means she has to get... do Rite of Calibration. Ooh, Unblinking Stare. Let's do that. And let's do Fellowship. And let's do... We can't do Law Warp. What else is she good at? She's really good at Persuasion. Law Imperium. Let's do Law Imperium. Does that thing cause you to grumble? Because it didn't optimally put your stats way where every check had high chance of success, benefit the class and start out stats. Fully fucked up your rogue trader picking lower Fellowship origin with a Fellowship reliant archetype. I mean, one of the reasons I play on a lower difficulty is so I don't have to stress out about being perfectly optimal with all my choices. I can just pick whatever looks good, whatever makes sense for the character, whatever I feel like, without having to stressing out about doing everything perfectly. He doesn't get toughness. I think agility. And then definitely coercion. That's like his main thing. Idira. What's Mind Thief do? That's not great. Warp Mines. Oh, that could be pretty good. Let's get that. And then common, an actual talent. End of the assassin's turn. That's only when you're doing multiple attacks. Ooh, create an opening. Take that. Can't take willpower, so let's do perception, I think. And then for a skill, Law Warp is out, so we do... Guess awareness? Yeah. Alright, we have ads about to start, so I am just going to take a quick break, go use the bathroom. You know the drill. I will be right back.
Pizza time.
Alright, we are back. Let's just continue leveling up. Henrix. Think low warp. And definitely weapon skill. Kibella. Let's do acute pain. I've been looking at that for a while. Let's do toughness. And let's do Medicaid. Jai. Jai is kind of a wannabe rogue trader, I feel. Which is why I don't use her much, because I feel like there's a lot of overlap with her basically trying to fill the same role that my main character does. No agility, let's go intelligent, I guess, and let's go low Imperium. Alright, that is everyone leveled up. Now let's have a look at this. So how do I do that? Do I have to be in orbit? Let's try going into orbit. See if that solves it. Long live the rogue trader! Oh wait, Void Bridge. That's the one I wanted. Your ladyship? And I click here. There we go. There are rumors in the colony that the rogue trader has given in to the archenemy's corruption, personally killed Lady Theodora, and usurped the throne by force. I can do punitive raids. That's going to cost me some complacency. I can do donations. Or I can ask for help from the followers of Saint Drusus. Let's ask for help from the followers of Saint Drusus. I'm on good terms with them. The Drusian services and sermons have dispelled the veil of idle hearsay and slander. Colony reward gained, people ×2. Well, that was easy. I guess I didn't get rid of the penalties from slander. Hope I can get rid of those somehow. Maybe not. We'll see. Alright. I think that is it for Dargonis. They have an ongoing project. They have an ongoing project. They have an ongoing project. Alright. I think it's time to get back to exploration. So I've already done all of this. There's a bunch over here. Eldari survivors. Well, I guess this is where Kiava Gamma is. What's up here? Forge a path to Vieva 6. I want to do that. Okay, I think we head up into these 4 systems. Starting with Helium Solitas. The engine decks were transformed into exotic gardens. Several chambers sprouted foliage vaguely resembling the plants on Terra. There are no plants on Terra. Although they exhibited a glass-like surface polished to a mirror sheen. While reflections in the plants perfectly copied the surrounding objects, they did not show a single living being. Those who peered into them saw grotesque, blood-covered creatures instead, not unlike bloated abyssal fish with a pair of clawed limbs, sometimes more. Unable to destroy the sinister growth, the Voidsmen covered it with plasteel hoods until leaving the immaterium, finally ridding the vessel of the corruption. By the God Emperor's grace, no peril of the warp prevented the vessel from returning to real space. Alright, fairly straightforward system. Let's see what we're working with. How many extractiums do I have? I think I only have a few. I have like 3 or 4. I have 3, Gas giant, nothing interesting. Seems like a dead world. Desert world, what do we have here? Bones in the desert. Q is moving. If you need me, at you or say your name, else you might likely won't be looking at stream. Yeah, you'll be playing PoE too. That's totally fair, Zahel. I am going to try to not bother you because I want you to just savor the new league and enjoy yourself, so have a good time. And thank you for lurking. After analyzing the auger data, the officers were surprised to discover that the planet was once covered with oceans. Long ago, an unknown cataclysm caused the seas to dry out and turn the world into a lifeless desert. The most amazing discovery of all was the skeletal remains of colossal oceanic organisms, some large enough to be seen from orbit. Holy shit, that is big. Life is fragile, even for creatures this enormous. I really like these things where it's like, oh, here's a point of interest on the planet. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't affect gameplay. It doesn't affect the story in any way. It's just a bit of color to make the galaxy more alive and more mysterious. I really like touches like that. I tried to include stuff like that in my own Dark Heresy campaign as well, for basically the same reasons. Looks like a burning world or a lava world. Or maybe it's just red for other reasons. It's a burning world. Auger anomaly. Another burning world. This time the fires come from within the planet, the perpetual volcanic activity creating powerful cyclones of gases, ash clouds, and soot. Behold, protagonist, this shit has nothing to do with you, but it still exists, yes. And to me, stuff like that makes the galaxy feel more like a real place. The fact that it's not like a huge sidetrack that detracts from the story, but just like there is stuff here that is interesting and weird without it necessarily serving the story. It doesn't serve the story, but it serves the world building, and I'm a big fan of world building. Now that you know what to look for, your augurs easily locate traces of the mysterious underground constructions. Let's send some sacred machines to explore the peculiar constructions. The operation is difficult, but proceeds without a hitch. The machines make way to the unusual constructions and return carrying priceless samples. Seemingly uninteresting, these plates and weaves of heat-resistant material cause great excitement among the tech priests. The explorers are convinced you are holding the artifacts of a unique ancient Xeno civilization the crew is now calling the Builders from the Flame. These creatures were accustomed to the incredibly high temperatures of the burning worlds. They may have even been a silicon-based life form, or even sentient colonies of bacteria. More evidence is required if the research is to continue. Got some ceramite plating, nice. Alright. Savannah World. Nothing much here. Alright. Now I'm gonna scan. I'm really hoping for a route here or here. Especially here. That would be ideal. Let's see what we get. Go, Cassia! Aw, Cassia, that's exactly what I wanted. Good job, girl! Let's make it entirely safe. We have so many points to work with. And now we are at Warhammer 4. Ooh, we got some pirates. Pirates. I'm gonna explore the other planets before dealing with the pirates. What do we have here? An arid world with some phlogiston. I have plenty of phlogiston though, and I'm running low on extractium, so we're gonna leave that. Traces of meteorite. What do we have here? The ship's augurs have detected a non-native mineral cluster on the planet's surface, probably the remains of an ancient asteroid shower. The substance is valuable, but collecting it will not be easy. The asteroid sits right above numerous underground caverns. The ancient tunnels and vaults are incredibly unstable and would likely not bear the weight of a large group of humans, let alone a shuttle. Well, 90%, because Abelard is so good at athletics, we are going to take the risk and send a shuttle. Succeeded. The crew's expertise made it possible to collect the mineral without disturbing the ancient caverns. Gain 16 experience. And that means there is now a deposit of 5 plasteel. Oh. I would definitely grab that if I were not run... You know what, plasteel? You need plasteel for so many things. I think I'm gonna grab it anyway. Even though I'm running low on extractiums. Looks like an ocean world. Got some provisions, but we have plenty of those. And a smuggler's cache. Oh, another one of these! Surviving piece of an archaeotech mechanism of unknown purpose discovered among the wreckage of an ancient imperial vessel on one of the planets in Warhammer 4. I wonder what happens if I manage to assemble that completely. Alright, let's save and let's go deal with some pirates. Athletics checks are hilarious because it seems to mean one of two things. People climb walk on the athletics haver or being tossed by them instead. I think in situations like this, it's more just that the person who knows about athletics is leading the team. I think ultimately it's best not to read too much into it. Okay. Looks like, I think, 3 pirate ships. Avalon Bridge all the way. And what's the third? A Viper class destroyer. Throwing some torpedoes. And the Heartless is kind of taking a beating. Oh, but it's also giving a beating back. Oh! Heartless! No! God damn it! Okay, this has to be switched to fighters. So if I move here... Yeah, perfect. Move here. And then Sunhammer you. go. And if I move here, I'll be able to do this.
Going down.
Void shields might let him stay alive. Can't get any broadsides off, but that's okay because then we launch the fighters! And then the fighters, hopefully, finish you off. And then go in pursuit of the last ship. Alright, I am going to pick new heading. Because I have minus to range, I don't think I'll be able to reach, but I do have Arc Augury if I'm just out of range. No, even Arc Augury won't be enough, so instead all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna launch some more fighters. That'll be it. Changing course! Disengage! Let's live to fight another day! Oh, you poor fools, you don't get to live! You're pirates! All you're worth to me is salvage!
All clear. Congratulations, Lord
7
Captain.
ancient machinery, 55 scrap. Nice. That was a very easy space battle. That is one of the easiest space fights I've had. Save. And what is with this world they were guarding? Just nothing. They were just hanging out here. Okay, so, headcanon, there is a pirate cache or a secret pirate base on this planet. It's just well enough hidden that I'm not able to find it. Because that's why the pirates were hanging out here. That is my headcanon. Alright, so now I would like a route to Odenathus 11, please? Perfect. So we finish up on this one. I want a slightly safer route. And go there! In the middle of a warp jump, our sensors detected an approaching void ship, similar to ours in size, but of greater tonnage. The unidentified vessel did not respond to our hails and kept its course, approaching us at high speed. It's not very difficult. Let's fire on the unidentified vessel. The shell hit its target, the unidentified ship held its course for a moment longer, and then it vanished, leaving only flashes of light in its wake. A single projectile is not enough to destroy a ship of that size. What's more, our ship collided with no debris. Ooh, spooky! Although it being a big barbecue, using a lava planet as a grill is less likely than that. It's pretty high. I mean, that would be fun. Just arranging like a planetary scale barbecue. Lord Captain, Drakari ships are patrolling the system. The likelihood of slipping past their patrols unnoticed is close to zero. I see. But what if I'm not trying to slip past unnoticed? Yeah, that sentence was a little rough, Sans, but I got the meaning out of it. You fail to get past the enemy ships unnoticed. The nearest Drukhari ship attacks at once. Get ready. Others will soon join it. I think we got this. Although with all this ship combat, I do wish I had finished the project that would give me an Imperial cruiser as an escort ship as well. I have blocked some of your flagship's posts using unknown xenopower. Oh no! Looks like we're up against 3 sigils. Thank you, Heartless. Heartless doing good work there. Alright, so before we do anything else... Broadside! And then... I could probably finish it off with the Starbreaker, right? I didn't mostly miss. Alright. I am going to launch some fighters to take care of that. And then... see if I go here, I can Sunhammer.
Fire the lance batteries.
And then... if I go here, I can Stygies macro battery.
Onward.
Ooh, it looks like we got a critical or something, because that did more damage than anticipated. Alright, turn. Now the interceptors. Do that, and start making their way towards the last one. Oh, and 3 more jump in. Don't kill my fighters. Oh, you're going for me instead. These guys are very maneuverable. Let's see what the Heartless can do for me. Well done, Heartless. I feel like I should come around the other way. New heading is blocked. So I'm just going to launch fighters here. And then move to here, because that's all I can do, unfortunately. Yeah, nothing's gonna be able to reach anything this turn. Alright, these interceptors. Let's see about taking out this one. Did that take out my fighters as well? Oh, it did. I think the Heartless is going to deal with that one.
Fire right now!
That and do that if I need to. Starting with this one.
This one's going down.
And then this one.
Bleed them!
And then we move to here. And then we hopefully finish it off with this one. And then we launch some fighters. And turn. Now these fighters will come around to here so we get on the same heading. A couple of last cannon shots into you. These fighters are going to come up here. Sorry. Oh. Okay. You know what? Do this then. Start the swing around. And 3 more spawn in! Okay.
Fire the lance batteries! This one's going down.
It's not enough to kill.
Unleash
Some
your vengeful
torpedoes.
salvo!
And then I think go here. Broadside for the kill. And then go here and broadside. And let's see, reinforce shields. Reinforce our starboard shields. And turn. Oh! Didn't move far enough. Oh, I have to move all the way up there. In that case, I'm gonna do this. Gonna be able to reach? No, it's not. Since it's not gonna be able to reach anyway, we're gonna go here. And that's gonna be that. Not gonna be able to reach anyway, and I think the Heartless can handle that one, so gonna go here. And turn. Don't shoot my fighters! Started taking actual hull damage. Good job, Heartless. Okay, so I think these torpedoes have got that one. So I need to worry about this one. Which means... come around to here. I won't be able to shoot anything because of that. Come around to here. And then my shields are pretty banged up. Should I restart my shields? Yeah, I think we restart shields. Okay, that ran out of fuel. And torpedoes, and that will hopefully kill. That's gonna come in range. Ow. Hold on.
Another salvo!
I'm not gonna... Oh, actually the Starbreaker.
Fire the lance battery!
Oh, it missed. What a shame. Come around to here.
The time has come!
Launch some fighters.
Torpedoes!
And... oh, almost. You know what? If I arc Augury, that's going to be able to reach.
Fire right now!
Good damage. And turn. Fighters. And they ran out of fuel. That's fine. I'll launch more next turn. Oh, they're sandwiching me. It's kind of screwed me a little bit this fight, that I've basically fought almost all the Eldar ships on my own because the Heartless just fucked off to the other side of the map. It's coming back now, so hopefully it's gonna start making more of a difference. Ideally also doing a bit of tanking for me. But I'm in a really good position here. So I can You know what? Let's hold up. Let's do this first. Get one off the board. This here.
This one's going down.
So this is going to finish it off.
Fire the launch batteries.
Yes. Then we do this.
Leave their holes strewn across the stars.
And then... Yeah, exactly, Sans. Exactly. You know what? I think I want to strafe out here. Then move to here. And then most likely it's going to come at my right side. So I am going to enhance starboard shields and turn. My fighters turned around, so they're in position for next turn. They're going to land. No, didn't make it. Oh, they did. Great. The Heartless actually contributing, maybe even finishing the fight. Yep. Good job, Heartless. So that was a rough fight, but also we got over 300, almost 400 scrap to repair all the damage we just took. We got some Starbreaker lance, God's Bane lance weapons. Oh, that is an upgrade. And we got a whole bunch of Ghost Plate. So, first things first, repairs. 28 scrap. Now our dorsal lance weapon. That just does flat 20 damage more than what I have. Oh my god, what an upgrade. I have 3 of those. Alright, upgrade hull. No, that's not going to leave me with as much scrap as I want. I'll upgrade the RAM 1 level. Development, we get a couple of abilities. Let's see what we can get. All hands on deck. I don't understand what that does. Boarding party. Excuse me? Oh, that seems really good. I think we want that. Corpuscari chant seems amazing as well. That also... These seem really good. Shallow jump and warp wave. So I think we are going boarding party and Corpuscari chant. And I think posts are still the optimal, so that gets boarding party and swing run. That gets expeditious reload, which I need to use better. Torpedo control, which I hardly ever use. Reinforced shields, shield pulse, corpuscary chant. Oh, actually, he might make for a better master cannoneer. Because he has a better demolition skill. Let's do that. Master of Maneuvers is all about athletics. Warp Channeler, Idira. Warp Wave, Shallow Jump. I can't get either of those anyway. And Master of Etherics. Alright, do I want to upgrade anything? No. I think we're good. Alright! Back to the system. Let's save. Start exploring the planets. What do we have here? A little bit of plasteel and a smuggler's cache. What's in the smuggler's cache? Swords, las guns, axes, and 7 flamers. I don't need 7 flamers. So that all gets sent to cargo. Another smuggler's cache? What do we have here? Oh, another one of these! Architect mechanism fragment. So that means we have 3. Looking at what it looks like it's a quarter of a disc. So I suspect a 4th find will allow us to complete the mechanism. Maybe. Planetoid. Some plasteel, predictably. And Ocean World? Jungle World. A feral world, jungle world. Got it. Alright. Let's go check out this Asuryani vessel. I am assuming with all the Drukhari that was in this system that this is just going to be another graveyard. I don't think we're going to find any living Asuryani here. The Augur crew picks up a heavily damaged Xenos void ship among the countless rock masses of the asteroid belt. An Eldari vessel, beyond a doubt. According to the Von Valancius archives, about 100 standard years ago, the Imperial Navy set up a barrier in this system against pirates and the enemies of humanity. Countless primed mines are still scattered among the wreckage. The Voxmaster manages to tune the ship's systems to an unconventional frequency, and the bridge suddenly fills with chime-like Xenos voices. Drawn out and mournful, they sing in an unknown tongue, but every officer on the bridge can sense that this is a dirge. Answering the call, Iliad jumps to the cogitators, startling the officers on the bridge with her sudden jolt. In the hopes of understanding the monkey technology and figuring out how to help her kin, the Eldari runs in circles around blinking vid screens, but the mysteries of the machine god elude the Xenos. Then she turns to the Lord Captain, powerless. Iliad is asking the Elantak to help her kin who have found themselves in a trap sprung by fate. The Eldari are worn out and weak. Their song is a cry of despair, and that cry is fading. The Rogue Trader orders her officers to establish communications with the Eldari vessel. However, the Xenos do not respond to the incoming signals. After several attempts, the frequency tuned by the Voxmaster gets lost and the mournful song fades away. What's the state of the vessel? The Eldari vessel's hull and engines have presumably been damaged in a collision with a small celestial body. However, it is impossible to prove or disprove this hypothesis at such a distance. The Xenos vessel differs too much from those of the Imperium. Logistics officers led by Master Helmsman Ravor are ordered to plot a course for the rescue shuttle from the Dynasty's flagship to the Xenos ship and back. Now all the crew can do is hope that the calculations are correct and that the veteran officer's experience has not let them down. Right. Orders the servants of the machine cult to prepare a plan for clearing the minefield without harming the Xenos ship. After several hours pass on the ship's clock, the servants of the Omnissiah present a plan for the neutralization of the ancient mines. Success of the operation is assessed as extremely probable. Red Rust, hello, welcome. How are you doing? Alright. Clear a path to the vessel, detonating the mines. On the Lord Captain's command, the ship's cannon fires several powerful salvos. As soon as the shots reach the mark, a cascade of soundless explosions erupt within the asteroid field and spirals around the Eldari vessel. Once the explosions quiet down and the shards of asteroids, space debris, and void mines dissolve into the darkness of the void, a rescue team sets off towards the miraculously intact Xenos ship. However, when the shuttle reaches the Xenos ship, the rescue team's report catches the bridge crew off guard. The vessel's starboard side has been breached by the macro weapons of an unknown Imperial void ship. There are no survivors. Shielding her eyes, Iliad closes them and clutches the spirit stone at her breast. Coming to, the Eldari does not speak for a time. With notes of sadness in her voice, carefully picking her words, she concedes that the Elantak did all they could to save her kin. And yet it is the Monkey who are responsible for the loss of the Eldari void ship. Saddened by the pain and hatred that humans have wrought upon her kind, Iliad quietly leaves the bridge. It's Friday, you just got all the things done for the day. Yeah, let's go weekend! Got any big plans for the weekend, Red Rust? Exquisite Wraithbone fragments and an Eldari chainsword. What's this Eldari chainsword? Let's have a look. Eldari chainsword. Guess I already had one. And it stacked. Yeah, I already had one. Okay. And it is not as good as the chainsword Tifania has. Which means it's definitely not as good as the chainsword Abelard has. Alright, so it's not a big deal. Well, I guess that's all for this system. Now for the one that is under Xenos attack. Got some D&D coming up for sure. Nice. You a player or do you run the game? Janus has begun a new stage of development. 7 profit factor gained. Holy shit. Let's have a look at that. Hi, Factotum. Your ladyship, Janus is reporting about a disaster. Ghostly Xenos figures that appear at dusk and go away at dawn. In a ravenous swarm, they attack one agricultural facility each night, freezing everything they touch. The attacks take place in the complexes closest to the uncontrolled sector of the planet, where nature itself has turned against us. Fire and soar, that seems like a bad idea. What do we know about these wraiths? Not much. They are incorporeal and difficult to discern, but they happen to have Eldari features. The spirits draw the warmth out of humans, plants, and inanimate objects, but it seems they do not hunt consciously, but rather they simply do not notice anything in their way. At dawn, they dissolve into mist. The wraiths also differ among themselves. Some are as dark as the void, and others shine like the stars in the night sky. Just playing. Been a while since you've run a game. Cool. How am I liking Rogue Trader? I don't like this game. I fucking love this game. I've said it a few times, and for every time I stream this, it comes closer to being set in stone as the truth. I think this game is gradually taking the place as my all-time favorite video game. It is definitely my favorite RPG, and I think it might be eking its way into being my just favorite game in general. What think my advisors? I really want to hear what Elliot has to say on this. When dealing with Xenos, one should be prepared for the manifestations of all sorts of ominous mysteries. There is a whole cast of specialists among the cold traders who use rituals to expel spirits from Xeno artifacts. Perhaps we should ask these Xeno Whisperers. Both a new game of this type by the same people and a new DLC? Yes, Sans, and I am looking forward a lot to both of them. So the DLC I will buy when it launches, and we'll see how it pops up in this playthrough. As for the other game, Dark Heresy, I am very excited for that, but that will be at some point in the future. Because I have like the next 2 or 3 games I'm going to play after this already lined up. So Dark Heresy is going to be at some point in the future. I might still get it right on launch, but I'm not going to play it right on launch. I'm going to play it when a space clears up in my schedule. After certain events on board, I became interested in ghosts. I bought a book on footfall, an illegal one of course, that describes a so-called ritual of silence. It's said to be able to pacify violent spirits on the scale of an entire world, but I can't vouch for the safety of this ritual. Instead of relying on wicked ways to solve these problems, it would be better to turn to our good priests. There are skilled exorcists in the ecclesiarchy who know how to drive out dark spirits. Okay. I have to be able to pay for that, sure. Lose 1 security. Lose 1 complacency. I think it weird that bringing in the ecclesiarchy is the one that costs me complacency. Playing an Inquisitor is going to be real different from playing a Rogue Trader? Yes. Hopefully there are fun mechanics like the colony organizations, but more Inquisitor style. So what I've heard, Sans, is that there's going to be a pin board where you like put clues on for your investigation. And then you try to figure out what's going on, and at the end of an investigation, you hand in your verdict of what your verdict as an Inquisitor is, what the fate of the implicated parties is going to be. And apparently one thing they've said is that once you hand in your verdict, the game will not say, you did this correctly, or you were wrong, here's what really happened. You don't get any of that. You get to stand by your decision, you get to live by your decision, you get to maybe see some of the consequences, but you don't just get an answer sheet. So you will always be living with the uncertainty, did I do the right thing there? Was that guy actually guilty? Was I played? Was I manipulated? And that to me sounds very fun and very inquisitory. It's tough planning out a gaming schedule for stream. Yes, Red Rust. Especially when you're me, because of my mental illness, I'm very unstable. So I don't stream as much as I'd like. I get, I'd say between 1 and 3 streams in a week. Where really I have the time to stream every day, I just don't have the stability or the mental energy. But because I stream so little, everything drags out longer. Alright, I think we're going to trust in Jai, and we are going to find these Xeno Whisperers. Of course, Shireen. Jai Hidari has friends everywhere. A group of suspicious characters covered in talismans arrived on Janus. After seeing the dance of ghosts firsthand, they conferred and then made a short trip into the jungle. They later returned, their numbers diminished, loaded with ancient Eldari obelisks stolen from the ruins. Oh, Iliad won't like that. Locals have called the obelisks installed in the agri-complexes a blessed miracle. The energy resonance of the obelisks has formed intangible domes, providing shelter against the wraiths. That sounds dangerously close to Xeno-heresy. You do not call alien artifacts blessed. Actually, I don't give a shit. I am not dogmatic, but I wonder what Heinrichs thinks of this debacle. Hey, we got 5 profit factor, because we finished the trophies. Alright, so you're done. Oh, we also have an event on Dagonis. Jesus. That's illegal. Yeah, pretty illegal. Lord Captain, we have received a report from Dagonis. Some common folk from the now ruined Scipione 84-249 have succumbed to the heresy of defiance. Forming into gangs known as the Engine Vandals, they now ride across the wastes on wasteland-adapted cleaning Goliaths. They have declared themselves outside the law, raiding the hive's outskirts only to escape retribution in the toxic wastelands. Well, we can't have that. Despite your act of grace, these ungrateful heretics are fleeing the hives, abandoning their workstations, and inciting others to do the same. They even dare to spread lies and slander, stating they are being used as slaves. So great are the appetites of the yesterday's refugees. Alright, we have ads about to start. So as usual with an ad break, I'm just going to go pee, stretch my legs, and then we will continue. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Alright, I am back. I wonder what the official Imperial stance on how humanity came to be is. That is a good question, Sandstail. That is a good question. I will willing to bet you, because, you know, you have all these kind of different stances depending on what sub-branch of the Imperial cult you have. I'm willing to bet you that some subdivisions of the Imperial cult actually believe that the Emperor created humanity. Now that's nonsense, but I am fully willing to bet you that there are people out there, there are worlds out there, there are sects out there where that nonsense is actually the official stance. Alright, let's continue this. Rumor has it that the Foreman clan in charge of debris removal in the ruins of Scipione associates with these vandals. We could pass on your words to the renegades via the Foreman, or force them to disclose the location of the rebels' nomadic camp. Alright, what is this Foreman clan? It is a union of workers and technomats who used to serve on the lower levels of Scipione. Small-scale shift bosses, useful common folk who have proved their worth with diligent labor and valuable knowledge. Of course, they rank much lower than the esteemed merchants, to say nothing of the aristocrats, but the common folk heed their kin, and the foremen have both the authority and the ability to manage them. Absolutely, Sandstail. Absolutely. The Scipians keep to themselves, but the foremen have not shown any signs of disloyalty. They were the first to volunteer to return to the ruins of Scipione 84249 and start clearing the rubble. They are certainly useful and well accustomed to praising the Emperor through their labor. Moreover, their grief at the loss of their home and the resiliency with which they have borne it have made them heroes and martyrs in the eyes of other commoners. Like how lore-dense this looks. This is like Mariana Trench deep with the lore. Lore tungsten. If you want to get into the 40k universe, the lore of 40k universe, and especially the Imperium of Humanity, I cannot recommend this game enough. If you like RPGs just in general, I cannot recommend this game enough. I cannot recommend this game enough. This game is amazing. Sorry, I have something in my throat. Hold on. There we go. Lore branches out to a lot of other factions later on. I didn't know that. But I mean, already I just feel like it gives a really good insight into what the Imperium is like. Especially because I feel like... Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a soapbox, but I feel like in some ways 40k has kind of forgotten a little bit of its satirical roots, because originally 40k, the Imperium is 40k, was very much a satire of authoritarianism and like very autocratic, dictatorial rulership. The Imperium was objectively bad. It was all we had, but it was still bad. And I feel like recently, I'm not saying it's been completely scrubbed, but it's kind of veered away from that to rah-rah humanity. The Imperium are the good guys. They're heroic, holding the line against the hordes of the unknown. And the truth in my eyes is that it's kind of both. The Imperium has heroes, and the Imperium is keeping humanity alive, but the Imperium is also a horrific system that keeps humanity downtrodden and enslaved. Both of those are true, and I feel like this game shows the angle that both of those are true. Whereas I feel a lot of recent material has kind of veered too much into almost pro-Imperium propaganda. If you live in the Imperial Core, the propaganda will tell you the fairy tale. Yeah, but I feel like also a lot of the video games and a lot of the material, the lore for the tabletop game, has started to veer into that. Space Marines being emotionally damaged child soldiers? Yes. Space Marines are not something to aspire to, and anything that shows Space Marines as aspirational, in my eyes, is either outright wrong or can only be viewed as propaganda. Because the truth of Space Marines is absolutely fucking horrific. I mean, emotionally damaged child soldiers is true, but that's also just picking the surface at it. It's like it's that and worse. Anyway, let's get back to the game. That was a little bit of my soapbox. To sum it up, not only is this game really good with the lore, I feel like this game attacks the lore from an angle that I feel is the right way of showing it, and I feel like a lot of the other stuff in the franchise has kind of lost its way from that. That's also a big part of why I like this game so much. So much ranting available, but all in due time. You've been playing Baldur's Gate and Fallout? This game... So I usually describe this game as a mix between Baldur's Gate, XCOM, and Mass Effect. But I can definitely also see some Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics DNA in it. All in all, I keep saying this, it's really good. Anyway, how do they survive in the wastelands, and why do they reject my rule? It is a rather uncomfortable way of life, your ladyship. They are always on the run from acid rains and hurricanes, keeping a decent distance from the hives if they do not plan on raiding at that moment. They get their food from abandoned outposts, paying for it with the lives of those killed by autonomous security systems. Water and promethium are rationed very strictly. You also really like XCOM? So the combat in this reminds me a lot of the XCOM remakes. In a good way. They live by marauding, occasional hunting, and plundering. Sometimes their own kin, and sometimes the outskirts of the hives. They are a tribe of degenerates and barbarians that is rapidly developing its own clan culture. The civilized residents of the hives shoot the scum any chance they get. Okay, so we can... negotiate. It's gonna cost me a profit factor and some complacency. We can gain security in exchange for losing some complacency. Like the idea of satirizing space facets too. Yeah, this game does more of that than a lot of current 40k. Lose 1 efficiency. Gain 1 complacency. What was the movie called with the space bugs? Are you thinking of one of my favorite late 90s movies, Starship Troopers, Sanstale? I love Starship Troopers. I hear that apparently it doesn't really do the book justice, but just as its own thing, I think it's amazing. Alright, let's hear my advisors out. If the engine vandals have managed to tame the ancient machine spirits, that means that there are technomats or even tech priests among their ranks. That renders them negotiable. It would be efficient to utilize such renegades instead of disposing them. A promise of reward for every piece of technology found in the wastelands of Dargonus and returned to the dynasty will ensure their obedience and tractability. If you wish to exterminate them, Elantak, do not waste your time on hunting them down. Instead, deceive them into destroying each other. Tempt them with a prize, a weapon, or a trophy they can fight over. After the monkey are finished slicing each other up over the right to obtain it, your warriors will finish the deed. This tactic often proves effective against your kind. Little dark, but thank you, Iliad. The aristocrats of Dargonus despise them, but are also secretly afraid of them, correct? Renegades who can invoke such fear. I wonder, had there been such exiles in my house, would their presence have curbed the ambitions of my brothers and sisters? Would they have supported me in case of conflict? Oh, I am scheming and conspiring right now, am I not? Bravo, Lady Cassia. Do not be ashamed of the unique abilities bestowed upon you by your heritage. They are your birthright. The web teaches to look for the enemy vulnerability in what drives them. If the enemy is compelled to seek sustenance by attacking your domain, prepare a trap full of poisoned gifts. Let them eat and drink to their heart's content. The poison will weaken them, and then you will strike. Of course the Eldar knows how to make humans kill other humans. Yeah. And I kind of don't like what that implies about Iliad's experience and what Iliad has been doing previously. So let's see. Gain a mechanism. That'll require a profit factor. Gain 1 security. Gain 1 complacency. Rumors about a great prize. Done fighting. Raid and finish them off. 1 complacency. Honestly, I think we're gonna go with Lady Cassia's. No, I think we're gonna go with Pascal's. We are going to officially use them to gather lost technology from the wastes. Cost me a profit factor though, but still. May the lost be found yet again. Got a wasteland generator. Ooh, it is a torpedo tube. And we got some mechanisms. The former servants and serfs of the Omnissiah are now a part of the Engine Vandals, were glad to actively collaborate and redeem themselves in the eyes of the Deus Mechanicus. The common folk did not dare condemn this pact, fearing the menacing priests clad in scarlet. Hive raids have become a rare occurrence. Expeditions are returning from the wasteland with relics that were once lost to the vast plains. The Foreman clan then delivers these relics straight to the dynasty's coffers. That seems well worth it. Alright, I'm just going to go to my ship. Okay, so... 5 plasma torpedoes or 5 short-burning plasma torpedoes. I actually don't think the Wasteland generator is any good. I think the Griffin pattern torpedo tubes are better. Oh well, what a shame. Alright, back to colony management. I am ready to start a project on every single one of my colonies. Let's start with Foulstone. See, what are my options? Touched by Holiness. Cost me 3 profit factor to gain efficiency and Drusian rep. Hollowed Railway. Cost me 2 plasteel, of which I have plenty. 1 mechanism, which I have some. 1 promethium, of which I have plenty. Gives me a Requimator, which might be fun on Abelard or Heinrichs, and 2 complacency. Can't get this because I did good tidings. Got it. Or I can do Indrusus's footsteps. Cost me 5 plasteel, 2 provisions, and 3 people. It's a lot. But the charge does extra damage. That's kind of shit. 5 profit factor, though, and 2 complacency. Thousands of believers are flocking to Foulstone in the hope of serving the Emperor. Their energy can be directed towards the colonization and conquest of new worlds as commanded by St. Drusus. The construction of Pilgrim's Arks will require enormous resources, but wealth is nothing to the true believer. Or I can launch a crusade. Did you ever play Disco Elysium? No. It is one of the many games that I intend to get around to, but I just haven't gotten around to yet. Don't have a lot of weapons, do I? No. That will give me security on all colonies, though. This will give me complacency on all colonies. I think we are going to construct Pilgrim's Ox. Colonize and conquer new worlds. On Janus, we have a couple of options. Actually, it looks like we only have one option, and that's Secret of the Winter Scales. Sacred technology could enable Janus to produce enormous volumes of promethium. However, only the most skillful and highest paid smugglers will be up to the task of stealing this treasure. So we're basically doing industrial espionage against the Winterscale dynasty. Cost me 3 profit factor. What I will get is 6 chemicals and 6 promethium, but I will lose 1 security across all my colonies. I don't want that. I am going to pass on that. Need more. Well, I can't because I did the Capella Biologus. Rank 3. I did Forest Fortresses. Station with Kazbalika. Giants. Which doesn't seem to be an option. Seems like I don't really have any options on Janus, except this one that I don't like. So we're gonna hold off and not start a project on Janus just now. As for Dagonus, I have a few options, I see. See, Doctrine of Rationality requires 1 mechanism, 2 people, 1 plasteel. According to the new doctrine, the disenfranchised will be servitorized or disposed of through hazardous work. That's kind of brutal, but it is really good. 2 efficiency, 2 complacency, 2 security. Sordid goods. Convicts will be secretly sold to the pirates of the Coronis Expanse. Don't like that. Hallucinatory Chemtherme. What about script? I think scriptorium schools. Yeah. To teach the serfs to read and thus produce educated servants under the supervision of monks would be as useful as it would be dangerous. Cost me 4 provisions. I'm drowning in provisions. Gives me 2 efficiency across my entire holdings. That is amazing. Gives me 4 people, gives me 1 complacency. I do lose 1 profit factor, but I do think that is worth it. So we're gonna do that. Alright. Save and go check out this system, which has alien problems. Drakari void ships. Lord Captain, we have cross-referenced the key characteristics of the system with our astronautical chart data. The planet Veobus 6 is located here. The problem is the augurs detect an unusual change in the atmosphere, not unlike a massive release of toxins. It appears that something unfortunate has happened to the planet's underground storage facilities. It is impossible to land safely on the planet just now. Unknown ships are cruising in the system. No need for any cog to analyze it. I can decipher this telemetry easy. Zenus. The armor and artillery crews are standing by. Yeah, let's check out the other planets first, though. It's just a gas giant. Probably won't be anything of interest. Oh, never mind. Abandoned tech priest base? Sounds interesting to me. Not bad. Go here. Revor feels like he would have a tiny fluffy pet that he refuses to let anyone else ever know of. I can see it, yeah. I could see him having like the equivalent of a bunny rabbit. A wascally little wabbit. Oh, what have we here? A peculiar settlement. This planet can barely sustain life, and yet searchers discovered a long-lost Imperial colony, one that was cut off from the rest of the galaxy centuries ago. The colonists live in conditions worse than any underhive, yet they still venerate the Emperor and gladly welcome their visitors. The Lord Captain receives an invitation from the local ruler, the Arch-Queen Princeps Domina. Oh, pay the Arch-Queen an official visit. The ruler meets the Lord Captain in a shack, considered to be a palace by the people there. The Arch-Queen's unusual crown is made out of metal coils, most likely parts of an ancient device for boiling water. The guests are served the finest delicacy the colony can provide. The Arch-Queen praises the visitors in mangled Low Gothic and calls the Lord Captain her dear sister. At the end of the audience, gifts are presented to the guests. The Arch-Queen's ministers delicately remarks that the best possible gift the Lord Captain and her crew could provide would be the replenishment of the colony's meager gene pool. Arch-Queen Princeps, did they used to have a knight? Possibly. In fact, this colony exists on a planet within the same system as a fully developed Imperial world? Yeah. Seems a little lazy. Not by the devs, but by the Imperium. The Lord Captain gives orders to canvass the lower decks for volunteers. The most ruggedly handsome among them will be sent to the Arch-Queen's court along with other gifts. It's just people there, nothing of value. The Arch-Queen is delighted and flattered. She hopes the Lord Captain will pay her more visits in the future. Begin scan. Looks pretty dead to me. Oh, it does have a another abandoned tech priest base. Interesting. So a lost Imperial colony and 2 abandoned tech priest bases. I get the feeling that there used to be a lot more going on in this system than what is currently. Right, let's go meet some Drukhari. Hi guys!
Enemy contact! All hands!
Okay, what are we dealing with here? Couple of frigates. Is that all? Just 2 frigates? 2 friggin' frigates. Definitely is a history of that being... Yeah, I think so too. Sandsdale. That sounds likely to me. What is this? Explosive Void Nebula. Definitely don't want to go in there. So if I do that, and then I arc augury, then I can actually open this. There we go. This won't reach anything, this won't reach anything. Then we launch some fighters. This looks a lot more interesting than you initially thought. Thanks for the recommendation. You're welcome, Red Rust. I am always happy to bring more people. Into this game. Send a boarding party. And turn. Now this interceptor. Can I still reach from there? I can. Oh my god! I was not expecting that. And this frigate's gonna come up behind me, gonna help me. You go into the explosive nebula. Nope. Okay. This can already reach from there. Then I can get basically everything. Okay, so starting here. No line of sight to target. Okay. New heading. Go here.
Them.
Godspeed lance weapon.
Fire the launch factory.
Target destruction confirmed. Praise the Omnissiah.
Got some ghost plates, got a bit of scrap. Nice, nice, nice. Do we need any repairs? Yes, we do. 5 scrap on repairs. And save and land on Viabos 6. Swift and merciless retribution is a proper fate for many transgressors, but the Imperium permits using the convicts for hard labor on distant prison worlds like Viabos 6. To atone for their crimes before humankind, hundreds of thousands of rogues and lowlifes toil in the mines of the Von Valancia's protectorate until death from exhaustion or some other unfortunate accident claims their forsaken souls. Well, let's go to the pits of Viabos 6. Alright, who do I want to bring for this? So I was told there might be aliens, so let's bring Heinrichs. It's a prison planet, so let's bring Solomon. And then... Shooty, both melee. I'm gonna bring someone shooty. I'm gonna bring Agenta. I like this party. The pits of Viabos 6. You think it's just a coincidence or deliberate that Viabos sounds kind of close to Weeaboo? Personally, I think it's just a coincidence. Alright, let's have a look at my formation first and foremost. Yeah, perfect. You see corpses. Are we dealing with a, we're dealing with a full-blown prison riot here.
Do not pay them. They became weapons in the enemy's hands. The Xenos wanted to shake our spirit, and, judging by your words, they were successful.
Broken, slashed, and gutted body is still covered with the shreds of a planetary warden uniform. This man clawed at his throat right before he died. This man's body is frozen in an unnatural pose. The corpse's fingers are crooked and its teeth are bared in a ghastly grimace.
Victory awaits!
Ghastly? That's a Pokemon. I know that. Bodies have been twisted into a pose resembling a servile bow and bound with barbed wire. You can see several thin cuts left by bladed weapons on the body. Oh, the prisoners. Oh, looks like Dark Eldar have taken over this place. Sorry, not Dark Eldar. Drukhari. The tall, lithe Xenos moves with the grace of an otherworldly predator. The creature gives you a dispassionate glance and casually speaks a few words that are immediately picked up by your elucidator. Is that like a translator? An incredibly rare translation device that allows the user to understand and speak most dialects of Low Gothic and some Xenos languages. Macandus, Aelith, what is this? Has one of the sisters found an amusing trinket in the ruins and saved it as a special treat for the Archon? The Xenos takes a quick look over her shoulder towards the platform, where a few more silhouettes in tar-black armor can be seen. Being ambushed by Drukhari and a Slavic street gang look shockingly similar. Much squatting and shit talk. I am thankful that neither of those have ever happened to me. Heinrich narrows his eyes and gives the Xenos an appraising look. The Drukhari of this breed are known as witches, Teophania. They are experts at bloodletting in the arenas and on the battlefield. However, I am more interested in the ones skulking in the shadow. Judging by their armor, they are high-ranking representatives of a cabal, a military clique from the Drukhari domain. It seems we have disrupted a vile performance for their distinguished guests. By whose leave are you playing Lord on my world? The Xenos' eyes light up with interest. This monkey understands my speech. Where did you come by a device that can translate our language? Are you trying to impress me by appearing useful? Such words will earn you a bout in the ring at most, without weapons, and soon without your skin. The humans scattered around you on the platform stare as if they've seen a ghost. The eyes of some betray their fear, others glare with bestial hatred, and yet more look upon you with hope. Who are you? My name is known to everyone on this planet, Monkey. I am Tazara the Deliverer, Tazara the Benevolent, the one who grants respite from the choking grasp of this world. I decide who lives, who dies, and who finds new purpose for their existence in Komara's many arenas. Surely this is why you have come here, to fight for my ever-changing favor, and for the privilege of being the first to be chained? A small group of Xenos who neutralized the planetary defenses and managed to ruin an entire world. Impressive. How much would it cost to hire you? The presumption, the stupidity. You have nothing that could satisfy me, Monkey. From the dusk behind Tazara comes a cry. The distance between you and the Xenos is too great for the elucidator to interpret the words, but the tone alone speaks of irritation and impatience. Looks like the spectators grew bored when the performance hit a snag. Heinrich reaches for his weapon. Tazara raises her blade and points at you. Tell the other monkey that whoever slits your throat will depart for their new home ahead of schedule. And tell them to hold nothing back. Tonight they dance for Eremeris herself, the great archon of the cabal of the Reaving Tempest. Well, I am going to use my persuasion skill. Fighters, do you truly wish to die at the Xenos' behest? If we join forces now, we can end this senseless carnage once and for all. Exhausted and defeated faces trade worried glances. The hulking brute next to you hesitates, then spits and breaks into a grin. We're going to die anyway. Might as well do it without the heretics brand. Slay the beasts! Tazara emits a furious scream and takes a step back, signaling her companions.
Do not plead for swift death.
You have been ambushed. Okay, what are we dealing with here? It's not the battle. So what are we dealing with here? Gunslinger, witch, gunslinger, witch. A Hecatrix. What does a Hecatrix do? Light armor, lots of dodge. Ooh, it has a blast pistol and a poisoned Hecatari blade. Which is probably mainly a melee combatant, yes. And a gunslinger is probably a splitter pistol. Okay. Another Hecatari, no, another witch. So that's 3 witches, 2 witch gunslingers, and a hacking Hecatrix. And then up here we have... Somehow they don't seem as interested in participating. I think they just want to watch the fight. Alright. Cover. Can I apprehend you? I'm not sure if Glato has enough movement, but we're gonna try. I think he's just gonna get stuck on the way there. Yeah. Then I guess... Can we just double slug, or is that out of range? That's out of range. So that's all we do with him for now. Pascal. Move up into cover. Oh, we can see across this. Okay, interesting. Well, with that in mind... Does not seem to have line of sight. Yet that does.
Activate calculus fury algorithm.
That's a regular witch. So if we put a trap here, that'll be great. Then we clear a perfect spot. We have 3 left. I don't want to overcharge just yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pray. I'm going to piercing shot. I'm going to analyze, and then a regular shot should do a decent amount of damage if it lands. There we go. 1/3 of his health. And what are my chances of hitting with this? No. Turn. Now Argenta.
I will bathe this battlefield in
Go
righteous
here.
fury.
Take you as prey.
I'll do it.
And then I don't want to gun down any of these gladiators.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
So I'm just going to single shot. There we go. And then
As
run
the
and
Emperor
gun.
commands, I act.
Or, oh, I forgot
I'll do
Furious
it.
Recitation. Then a second single shot. Which doesn't kill, but that's fine. And then raid,
That is for the
help
weak.
everyone else kill my targets. Done! Abelard! I think Abelard's gonna come over on this side and help deal with the Hackatrix. So he's gonna move to here.
Tactics are the best ones.
Then he's gonna charge to here, which leaves him exposed, but also leaves him in a good position.
Victory is
Then he's
imminent.
gonna endure. Then he's gonna taunting
I will do my
scream.
duty.
And then he's gonna stalwart defense.
Let's get to it.
Oh, my ears are ringing.
You will pay for this in blood.
Nice try, dummy. Last pistol, nope. I'm on a filament grenade. Alright, Heinrich's gonna come over to this side and assist. So he's gonna iron arm himself. He's gonna word of the Emperor here. He's gonna charge. Can I charge him? Charge him. Always get someone off the board if you can. Yeah, I have 3 points left. I am going to Hammer of the Emperor. And then if I do the Warp Strike, I might kill.
For the throne.
Yes. Beautiful. Not in a good position for Daring Breach, so we're just ending here. Teophania. Move up here. Now, can I reach Pascal with my abilities? I think I should be able to.
All too easy.
I'll bring it down. By bring it down, I mean put a trap here. Analyze.
Diagnose all, comprehends all.
And then plasma. Ah, you missed. Worth a shot. Now Teophania has 2 points left. I think she is just going to... What are my chances of killing with this? Not great. So I am going to press the advantage. Do a sniper
Nothing
shot.
iconic.
Missed as well! Ah. He tried.
Brace yourself.
Could you guys stop shooting Avalon? He is trying to help you.
Let's make it quick.
There we go, an actual hit. Good job.
Let's get to it.
I'll return the pain tenfold.
Okay, Solomon.
We've got a job to do, Glato.
Get up here. Advanced tracking. Glato, apprehend this heretic. Well, not a heretic, a Xenos. Even worse. And I think a double slug paired with Glato. Yes. And then Glato
Clarify your order.
can only... Oh, that's protect. Right, I don't have enough for that. You know what? Might as well. Glato,
Let's
protect
test our
Abalon.
skills, Glato.
Pascal. Can I see him from there? I cannot. Can I see him from there? I can.
Exploiters know one route. Forward.
Pascal moves here. Okay, perfect spot. So what will that do? In theory, that should be enough to kill. But let's just try doing that. I'm bored of this farce, Tazara. Who rules this arena? You or the monkey? Archon Irameris! Rakan Marajai, you know the dangers of repeating this misunderstanding. Your word is your command, is our command. Moving too fast for me to read it out. Okay, so I guess they're just leaving. Lucky me. Put down another trap here. Then analyze. Then joint analysis, so everyone else can also use that. And then with my last point, we're gonna miss. Alright, turn. Argenta.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone!
Move here. And then mark you as
Faith
prey.
without deeds is worthless.
Mark you as
I'll do
prey.
it.
Then I think we use Wild Hunt.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave. None can escape the Emperor's
Now
judgment.
executions for less.
There we go. And then we do a regular shot with
As the
Call the
Emperor
Bold.
commands, I act. I'll do it.
Assaulting an arbitrator. Bad idea.
Yeah, the overpenetration is definitely worth it.
As the
Raid.
Emperor commands, I act.
And turn. Abelard, dispose of this alien for me.
It will be done. At your beck and call.
The surviving fighters turn their heads towards you, one after another. All eyes on the battlefield are glued to you. Those who fought with me, get to the shuttle. As soon as we're away from here, I will give orders for the immediate evacuation of the remaining survivors. Hey, everyone leveled up. Poisoned Hekatari Blade. Witch Armor. I'm gonna keep one of each of these. We got some stuff. I already have splinter pistols. Nope, that was a misclick. Can I not?
None shall stand in my way.
There we go. Click boxes can be a little wonky in this game sometimes. Blast pistol. I'll take a blast. I think I already have one, but just for to be on the safe side, I'll take it. Hunter Carpus. seems good. Don't know if I have anyone who wants to use it, but... Man died clutching his intestines as they split from his lacerated stomach. The body was partially flayed. Judging by the amount of blood, the victim was still alive when it happened. Delicious. Man, the Drukhari sure are nice, huh? They're gone. Throne is my witness. We will find these blasphemous wretches and make them pay for everything that happened here. That was Argenta. Well, I guess we're done here. I guess we're done. Okay, so I'm waiting on a response from Dagonis. Well, that means I'm done here. Let's get out of here, yeah.
About time.
The market for human merchandise. What? Oh my god, Viabus counts as a colony. Oh, that makes me happy. I want more colonies. A captain who calls himself the Master Inspector is in the market for human merchandise. This particular character has repeatedly shown up on footfall to buy serfs, criminals, and unfortunates detained for vagrancy. Where he takes them is unknown, but his coffers seem bottomless. 4 people for 2 profit factor. I will take it. Let's have a look at these other ones. 4 Promethium for 2 profit factor? No. 3 profit factor for 10 provisions? No. 4 weapons for 5 people and 5 provisions? No. Don't have 4 adamantine. 2 profit factor for 5 provisions? No. 4 people for 5 promethium and 5 chemicals. I only have 10 people left, so no. 4 provisions for 1 complacency across all my colonies? An army of Drusian pilgrims is planning to travel to an unexplored sector and set up a colony in the name of the Emperor. To ensure that these fervent believers don't die on their journey, the cult of St. Drusus requires a huge amount of food. Let's do it. Omnissiah's Anger, 4 plasteel for 5 mechanisms and 5 people. No. Lashing the Void, 4 promethium for 1 security across all colonies. At the Departmentum Monitorum, Officio Tactica analysts have noted an increase in pirate attacks. The Imperial Navy is planning on conducting a large-scale operation to eradicate the outlaws, but stocking up on a sufficient amount of fuel has proven difficult. I will sponsor that. Bones gnawed clean. Pay 3 profit factor for 5 adamantine and 5 plasteel. Yes. Go over these again. I feel like I have enough plasteel now that I can do the Omnissiah's Anger. The factory world of Gensark incurred the wrath of the Omnissiah and has been struck by a major technological disaster. The machine spirits have gone to sleep inside the twisted industrial metalwork and damaged cogitators. The Forge Master needs supplies of materials and is offering skillful technomats in exchange. Ooh, that sounds promising. Let's complete that. Alright, back to colony management. Didn't have anything to do on Yanis. Let's look at Viabos 6. Okay, VOD 6 needs new convicts. Various dangerous literates and idle thinkers could supplement the workforce. Costs 4 people. Gains complacency across all colonies. I gain enemy of knowledge. More damage against psychers and navigators. I gain 4 adamantine and 2 chemicals. Punishment of the outsiders. Quarries can be filled with prisoners taken from foreign worlds. Requires good enough standing with the Navy. Requires mechanisms and weapons. I don't have a lot of weapons to pay. Against 1 efficiency. Or punishment by calculation. Purchasing foreign criminals is a potential solution, so I pay 2 profit factor. And I gain more standing with Fellowship of the Void. I gain security across all colonies. I gain adamantine and chemicals. I think we're gonna do punishment by calculation. And then we can start developing it further. Awesome. Okay, we have ads about to start. But actually, you know what? I'm gonna snooze the ads and we're going to start ending the stream. We're gonna raid out, because it's almost midnight here. A little bit of a shorter stream tonight, but that's okay. We made some good progress, I think.